Hey VC, Big Star 1000, um, back with basically a playlist once again, just to make a video because there doesn't seem to be a great deal of videos in the VC at the moment, at least not from the people that I watch personally. I know that someone's bound to comment that, oh yeah, there's zillions of VC videos, but you know, I don't subscribe to everybody, so um, from the people, from my own perspective, not many videos. Anyway, I'm just saying, digressing. So I have a whole pile of CDs, records, everything, and I want to share what I've been playing. It's Revolutions number 4, and I'll start with some jazz. I've been immersed in reading this book, which I picked up fairly recently. Actually, it was in January. I think I picked up this book, but I'm only getting to reading it now. It's the story of Love Supreme by John Coltrane. The book is by Ashley Kahn. It's on Penguin. And due to the fact that I'm reading this book, well, as you can expect, I've immersed myself in this record a lot. I don't doubt for 1 second that everybody knows this record, but please do me a favor, if you're watching this video and you've never heard this, do something about it, please. Love Supreme, John Coltrane, one of the great musical statements ever, from 1965, with a legendary quartet: John Coltrane, McGee, Jimmy Garrison, and Alvin Jones. An amazing record. Amazing record. Also been playing a lot of other Coltrane, one of which is the legendary live at the Village Vanguard. Again, the second Village Vanguard live, because there's 2 of them. This one has a different lineup. Jimmy Garrison still plays, but instead of McCoy Tyner on piano, you have Alice Coltrane, who was married to John, and you have Ferry Sanders on sax, and on drums you have Rashid Ali. Totally different feel. Fantastic record too. I think this is from 1966, or I think it's a year after Love Supreme, a year or 2 after. And still on jazz, I showed this in my latest vinyl finds, but man, this is a monster record. Joe McPhee, Nation Time, which is a wonderful sort of a free slash funk jazz session. 2 of the tracks are live tracks, and one of them was recorded in the studio, I think. Recorded live at Vassar College Urban Center for Black Studies, 1971. Reissued recently, 500 copies. Wonderful record, amazing. And since I'm on sort of black music, or Afro-American music, Chris for 127 Basket sent me a copy of this recently, and I've been playing it as well. It's a fantastic record, which I have on CD as well, but it's so much better on wax, really. I mean, who can argue, uh, which is Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On from 1973 on Motown. A soul classic. I mean, really, nothing else to say. Soul classic. I don't even know if I can segue into anything, so I'm not going to try, because I think it's going to be too difficult to segue. Although, but since we're on a jazz sort of band, here are a couple of Tom Waits records that I've been playing recently. The Early Years, Volume 1 and 2. What's happened is, in the last few weeks, I've see these are Mojo magazines. You see how there's a few that are missing there. I've been sort of going through them and just rereading old articles. That's, I was reading an article on Tom Waits, and just made me want to play his very, very first tracks, which are the Early Years Volume 1 and also the Early Years Volume 2, which this one is my favorite one of the two, but it's very jazzy, very stripped back kind of early demos, which then resurfaced on his first few albums, Closing Time and Small Change, and those kinds of. But they're wonderful. They're both wonderful records in their own rights. These were re-released in 1993, but they're fantastic. Tom Waits. And as I'm thinking of Tom Waits, for some reason it makes me think of, this kind of, higher class of songwriters, and makes me think of people like Leonard Cohen. This is a compilation that I've had for a very long time. It's I'm Your Fan, the songs of Leonard Cohen, by Pixies, R.E.M., Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Lloyd Cole. You have That Petro Emotion. You've got The Lilac Time, John Cale, the Go-Betweens. So basically, people who are fans of Leonard Cohen. 1991, and I've been playing this little comp a bit because I don't know, since late last year, I've just undergone this Leonard Cohen revival, and I still listen to Leonard Cohen all the time. It's just bizarre. A favorite track of this is Avalanche 4, I think it's called Avalanche 4, by a French singer-songwriter called Jean-Louis Murat, and he's translated Avalanche into French, and it works really well. I don't know. Been playing a bit of Neil Young recently as well, and especially recently Tonight's the Night. Last episode of Revolutions I showed Time Fades Away and On the Beach, which are part of this trilogy, which is called the Ditch Trilogy. So 3 records, Tonight's the Night, Time Fades Away and On the Beach. This is a fantastic record, really dark. I think Neil Young's darkest record by some distance. Songs about death and being high on heroin and what have you. And I don't know why. This reminds me a little bit of. I'm just riffing here, right? This is not prepared. I've also been playing a little bit of the classic Triffids record, Born Sandy Devotional, this is the expanded version with the book, which was reissued back in 2006 on Liberation Music. The Triffids are a band from Perth in Western Australia, and they were fronted by a genius called David McGee, and David McGee died in 1999, perhaps, maybe around the time. Very untimely death. Very young he was. This is a song about driving in on big landscape, scenic Australian roads. It's about despair. It's about a sense of abandon, and just a really deep record. I don't know how to express that. Well, speaking of despair, okay, I'm just segueing in a really bizarre way, riffing again. Speaking of despair, Arthur Russell does despair really pretty well. This is the reissue that came last year of Another Thoughts. Wonderful record, amazing piece of music. You can hardly see, can you? This is on Arclight Editions. This is the very first. They're an English label, and that's the very first thing that they put out. Arthur Russell, Another Thoughts. Oh, this is beautiful. It's just so... When you listen to this, sometimes you have the impression you're listening to Belle Sebastian, and yet, I don't know, it's very sort of heartfelt, it's very straightforward singer-songwriter type of thing, but he plays the cello, and that gives a really different flavour to the music. You have to listen to it. And since I'm speaking about Belle Sebastian, I've been playing all the EPs quite a bit recently, and the most recent play of an EP was this wonderful self-titled Belle Sebastian with 4 amazing songs: Dog on Wheels, The State I'm In, which is the song that opens Tiger Milk, and String Bean Jean, and the self-titled Belle Sebastian. One of my favorite bands, again. I love Belle Sebastian. It's just a great band. And yeah, I'll continue with something. Well, something completely different. Here it goes. No relation. I don't know why, but I've been drawn to playing Tusk a bit recently. Don't ask me why. This is Fleetwood Mac Tusk, which is a great double record, full of really amazing sort of proggy kind of songs. It's very progressive in its approach. It's almost like Fleetwood Mac trying to do The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, but in their own kind of way. And the title track Tusk is amazing. I mean, it's just such one of these songs that you hear it once and you never forget it. And the video clip with the marching band around the stadium, it's amazing. It's a great record. Okay. All right. Let me see. Recently, for some bizarre reason, I've been on a 2000s kick. Like, let me explain, because it doesn't really make sense. I've been on. I've rediscovered some of the albums that were released between 2000 and 2010. If that makes more sense. The great records that came out in that period, and I've been just immersing myself, and I was looking at some lists on the net of great albums of the 2000s, and it's good. It's sometimes, you know, lists are a great inspiration for playing things. You just forget about things, you know. For example, I played my copy of Drums Not Dead by The Lies. Amazing. I mean, they've just released an album, I think, recently, The Lies, but I think it'd be hard to make a better album than Drums Not Dead. See, it was a sample copy, sample product. Um, a fantastic, really, you know, sort of a very post-punk approach to making music, and it's just such a great. The Lies are just a great band, just a great band. Another great 2000s album is Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco. I mean, that's a beast of records, amazing records. And just to think that they were rejected by, what was it, Reprise Records, just kicked them out, and they were picked up by Non-Such. This record is perfect, really. From the opener, I'm Trying to Break Your Heart, to War on War and Heavy Metal Drummer, which is amazing. Pot Kettle Black, just to me, my equal favorite Wilco record with A Ghost Is Born. I like this and A Ghost Is Born on a sort of an equal level. Talking about 2000s records, this I played today, I really thoroughly enjoyed. This is Air, the French band, with 10,000 Hertz Legend. It's a beautiful record, kind of a sort of a very pulsating, classy, Floyd-esque record. It's just a beautiful record. It's from 2001. This was released in 2001. If you've got a little bit of time and you want to chill out, it's just a very. And Beck makes an appearance on The Vagabond, I think it's track 4. Beck appears. Speaking of, I'm just talking about some more 2000s records, because I want to keep that little thread going there. I've got quite a few more there. I've been on a sort of Animal Collective bender recently as well. Just listen to Animal Collective a lot. This is Merryweather Post Pavilion, which came out in 2009 and is still one of the best albums to come out in the 2000s. Animal Collective is such an inventive band, and I've been playing Strawberry Jam a lot, which I have on MP3. I don't have I've just ordered myself a vinyl copy of it because I've been playing it so much that I felt I needed to buy myself an actual copy of it. This is fantastic. Animal Collective with Noah Lennox, aka Panda Bear, who's one of the members. Kind of a psychedelic. No, not folk. Psychedelic pop bands, but really pushing the boundaries of very experimental rock as well. And this is the most polished, most poppy, and this came out shortly before or after. Hang on. Yeah, shortly before. It's Fall Be Kind. This is an EP, which is great. Came out. I remember buying this literally right before buying the other one in 2009. So it must have been around that time. Great band, Animal Collective. Also, since we're talking about records that came out in the 2000s, I was playing the first Japandroids record, Post Nothing. Japandroids are a duo. I can't remember where they're from actually, but you know, they have this sort of kind of high, um, kind of high octane rock approach to their music. Great band, really, really cool. Like a kind of a more alternative rock version of the White Stripes, if you will, with a better drummer. Another great 2000s record, well, in my opinion anyway. And as I'm going to pull this out, for some reason it reminds me of Kevin, Doctor Strangely Strange. Not because he's showing this record or anything, it's because I think he lives on an island, on a Scottish island somewhere, and this record comes from the Scottish island of Mull. It's made by a guy called Colin McIntyre, and the band's called, well, he's a one-man project called the Mull Historical Society, and the album's called Loss. This has been one of my favorite sort of indie sort of, how can I describe it? This is more like a Pet Sounds from the Hebrides, you know. It's almost like this is Colin McIntyre there, and he lives, well, don't know if he lives there still, but on the island of Mull, which is off the coast of Scotland. And basically this is just like a very it's a superbly crafted sort of psychedelic indie pop record, one of the best of its style. And I bought this on CD literally within weeks of being released in 2001. I lived in England back then, and I fell in love with that record. I don't know why. I read a review in a music magazine about it that said, "Oh, you know, this is a fantastic record." And for some reason, I went and I bought it, and I played it to absolute buggery. And once I was in a store in Melbourne, probably 6-7 years ago, and there it was second hand for $10-12. I just got, wow, this was made for me. The Mull Historical Society. Here's another great folky album, Gruffrey's Candyline, from 2006. Sorry. Gruffrey's is the leader of the Super Furry Animals, a band that I love too. It's a fantastic band. In very many respects, much like the UK counterpart to the Flaming Lips, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So I'll segue into the Flaming Lips, Gruffrey's. This is a fantastic sort of indie folk record. Just, I mean, the cover looks a bit crap, doesn't it? It's very interesting, but the songs are really, really good. Really folk songs. And since I'm talking about the lips, the Flaming Lips, let me see what I've shown you and what I still have to show you. Yes, Flaming Lips. This is what I was playing this morning. Embryonic, which is the original blue vinyl version, which I bought when it came out, which I'm glad I did, because it's so cool to have the blue vinyl version as opposed to a repress. Fantastic record, fantastic, absolutely amazing record. This was released in 2009, so still in my 2000s records. It's a great record, The Flaming Lips. And since I'm on the lips, an album I've been playing to death recently is The Soft Bulletin. And again, an album that's, after reading a review in 1999 in my favorite French rock magazine, I bought without even thinking about it. And this is, yeah, an amazing record. I don't even need to talk about this, it's just superb. What else? I've got a couple more things. I won't keep you too long. 25 minutes. It's long, isn't it? But why not? You know. 3 or 4 more things. My wife plays records as well when she's in her house, and she quite often pulls out The Hands of Love by Kate Bush. She really likes. She's really fond of this record, and so I included it because I like it too, and I've listened to it enough times recently to make it worth including. 1985. I mean, if you don't know this record, do yourself a favor again. Been playing a bit of Substance When You Order, which is from 1987, as you can see. It does say it on the tin. All the non-album singles, basically, Ceremony, Temptation, Bizarre Love Triangle, Confusion, Shell Shock. The greatest compilation you can ever want to have in your collection. Boston and Reggie, you sent me this record and I was playing it the other day, so little shout out to you. Durch die Wüste by Hans Joachim Rodelius from Cluster. A superb record on Sky, reissued on Bureau B. Just cosmic electronic music, really jerky and bizarre. Excellent. A bit of indie pop recently. Was playing the Rough Trade compilation Indie Pop 1, and this has got the cream of the cream: My Bloody Valentine, The Clouds, the Jeez and Mary Chain, Felts, Television Personalities, The Wedding Presents, etc., etc., etc. Is all of these on this comp. That's from 2004. And a band that features on there is the Pastels, one of the favorite bands of Kurt Cobain, and this is a fantastic record. If you're going to get anything by the Pastels, up for a bit with the Pastels. Amazing record. And since I'm talking about English indie pop kind of realm, this is there's a new guy at my work who's a fan of XTC, and we were just talking about it, and I just felt like playing Apple Venus Volume 1 by XTC. That's a really, really, really great later XTC record. 2 more. Erkin Koray, the king of Anatolian rock, which is basically Turkish proggy psych grooves. This is called Meşhur Single and Rarities. It's on Sublime Frequencies, which is a label which is based in I can't remember if it's Sublime Frequencies from Sweden or if it's from Portland. Seattle, sorry, not Portland, Seattle. That's it. Seattle. I was thinking Pacific Northwest. So it's Subliminal Sounds from Sweden. Subliminal Sound, and Sublime Frequencies is from Seattle. That's right. There you go. Finally, the name of this band is Talking Heads. Disc 2 is Disc 2 is just amazing. Check out that for a okay, I'll try to do it under 30 minutes, which is what I've done. I have lots of records to show you, so I hope everyone is well, that you're enjoying music, and that you might be tempted to post some videos, people. Maybe some comments, and background was the Vanguard Banhart, by the way, another 2000s. Great. See you, VC.